So this week I really appreciated Rhodes, not just as an educational institution, but as a huge support system for me. I had a pretty rough personal week. It wasn't very fun. Someone very important to me moved away, and I'm really sad about it. It was a long time coming, so everybody knew that it was gonna happen, and I let them know the day that this was going to happen, and I don't think anybody really expected me to come to school. And a lot of people were even saying, take the day off, just rest, take the time for yourself. But I had the whole day. I dropped them off at the airport at 5 in the morning, and then I slept for so long, and then I had class at 5, and I actually found that I really wanted to go. I just wanted to be in contact with people, and I knew that being there with my classmates, it would be somewhere that was safe, and it would be somewhere where I didn't have to hide what was happening. It's not like other schooling or places of work where you have to check your personal problems at the door. They actually prefer when you bring all of your personal problems to school with you so that we can all get practice learning how to handle them. So that's what I did. I came to school, and it was funny because I was fine on the transit ride there. I wasn't feeling upset. I had everything locked down. I was like, okay, I'm in pretty good shape. Maybe I will actually be totally fine tonight. And then as soon as I was across the street from the school, I started to feel all the emotion come up. And then by the time I was in the elevator, I just had tears streaming down my face. It's kind of like my body knows that Rhodes is a safe place. It's like, oh, okay, we're somewhere where we're allowed to cry now. And so it just comes out. I can't even help it. It reminds me of this time when I used to work in this restaurant when I lived in Toronto, and there were 2 bathrooms, individual stalls for over 100 staff. And so there was always somebody waiting when you got out of the bathroom to use the bathroom next. And so I would never number 2 there. Like, poos were off limits because I knew someone was going into the bathroom right after me. And so eventually my body learned just to shut it down, and I never had to poo at work. However, as soon as I got home, I would walk into my apartment building, and I wasn't even in my own unit yet, just in the building. It had a very distinct smell, and it's like my body knew that I was home, and immediately I would have to go poo. So that may have been an overshare, but that's exactly what happened to me on Wednesday when I came to school. It was like my body knew. It's like, oh, we're in a building where it's safe to cry. Let's go. And they just brought on all the tears. So I walked into the classroom, and I already had tears like streaming down my face. And I think my classmates were actually a little surprised to see me. They maybe thought I was gonna take the night off. But instead of saying like, oh, are you okay? Or how are you feeling? When clearly I'm sad and not okay, one of my classmates just said, do you want us to make a circle around you and just hug you while you cry? It was really nice. And I was like, okay. And then I just started sobbing. And they all came around me, and they gave me like huge hugs, and we just stayed like that for like 5 minutes. And the teacher came into the classroom, and they were all just holding me. And then when I was finished, she said, how would you like to transition into class? Would you like to take some time to yourself? Or what is something that we can do to honor where you're at together as a group? And so I said, well, I don't really want to talk about this. So could we all just sit in a circle and hold hands and breathe together? And she said, yeah, okay, that would be great. So we all sat on the floor like we were in kindergarten, and we held hands, and we just started doing really deep breaths together. And I still just kind of let all these tears come streaming down my face. And one of my classmates, who has this lovely, rich voice, started oming. And it was really beautiful. And it was also so wonderful to know I have that support at school and such a safe place to be. And the rest of the class went well. I was able to stay present and actually participate, even though they all said, if you need to take some time, or you need to leave the room, or you need to go home early, we totally understand. But I didn't have to do all those things because I felt like I had a really nice shift at the beginning of class, and I was seen, and I was heard, and I was acknowledged. So it's a pretty special place. If you're sad, they let you be sad. And if you're angry, by the time it was Friday, this is 2 days after that day, I was feeling just like lots of angst and like tension and frustration. And so they're like, let's all scream. So we just all stood up, and we put on tribal music, and we all just started screaming. And it felt so good. That was my week at school. I'm not sure what the lesson is there, except for find a safe place to release your emotion, because it can really help you process. And if you don't have a safe place and you're looking for one, Rhodes is probably a really good option. So that's all I have for you today. Thank you for listening, and 3 more weeks, 3 more videos Girls, the countdown is on. I will see you next week.